really got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul Bearer, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. Ted DiBiase, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the latest episode of Boot to the Face here on YouTube and all your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Chris Rucker along with my host CJ Reed, and we are here to talk about the world of professional wrestling. EJ, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Big time thunderstorm over the top of my house right now, so I don't know. Maybe this will be a short stream. Maybe it won't be if the power goes out.
Fingers crossed, knock on wood, hopefully.
Yeah.
Everything goes well with electronics and whatnot.
Yep. You have a good weekend?
Yeah, man, it's pretty chill. I went on a 5-mile hike. That was interesting. You know, using the All Trails app. It's about an hour from where I stay from. So, yeah, I mean, this one, usually All Trails, they put safe trails on there and whatnot and highly rated ones, but this one was pretty interesting because it wasn't the best landscape trail. Usually the trails have good clear paths, but this one had like spurts of where it had a real high grass and kind of had to navigate through some jungle. So I wish I would have wore pants, but it did have like a bunch of like mountains that I had to climb, so that was interesting. I wouldn't say like full-on mountain, but like rocky. I guess it would be considered a mountain because it's like real high, elevated. I guess you call it like a real tall hill, but it was rocky, and my ass almost slipped down a couple of them. But
you went by yourself?
Yeah, I went by myself. 5 miles, man.
Damn. You just woke up one day, decided to go hiking?
Now, I've been hiking like I started with somewhere around 2021 around here. I just like during the summer and the spring, I usually just pick random trails on All Trails to hike. They got some close by me, like 5-10 minutes away, but I've already done those ones. Sometimes I like to find new ones to go do, switch it up.
You got like hiking boots and shit, or you just out there in some Vans or something?
I got like gym shoes, but I was looking into some hiking. I'm not wearing boots; those too heavy. But some hiking friendly shoes. I've been researching that. I think I might invest in some of those. You
ain't worried about like bears and shit like that? Snakes?
You have bears. I'm not scared of any snakes. We don't have any poisonous around here, but I wouldn't be scared of a bear. But they got bears in Missouri, but I think they're more so known in a different part of the state. And I think they would have warnings too, because these are like trails. It's not like these trails have been like navigated through, and they usually have warnings if they like have wild animals or dangerous animals. So.
Mm. That's cool. 5 miles. How long did it take you? About an hour and a half?
I ain't run it. I walked it, so it took like almost 3 hours.
That's a whole day. I bet you tired as a motherfucker when you got back.
I slept well that night, but I was good. But like when you get to the middle part, it's like shit. This shit keeps on going. But then the last 40 minutes wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. We got a couple of trails and shit like that around here, but every time we try to go to one, something happens. Like it'll start raining or anything. I think we've done it once, but I don't know. It's never was really my thing. But now that I'm walking so much, maybe that's something else to look into instead of just walking the same path that I walk every day.
Yeah, it's a good way to switch it up. I started doing it when I was out in California. My homeboy Mark, He's like, "You want to go hiking?" I'm like, "Hiking? What? You know I'm black, right?"
Was Mark black?
Nah.
Ah, there you go. See?
Yeah, but I've known him since kindergarten, so that's one of my best friends. So, hey, we went to, I don't know if it was the Redwoods. We went somewhere. It was like a 2-hour drive from the Bay Area, and shit, we lit up some of the devil's lettuce and out there enjoying nature.
You know, as long as I've known you, I don't think I've ever asked you if you ever do that or not. But I had no idea you rolled like that. Not saying you do now, but
That's never really been my thing. It's like every blue moon. 'Cause sometimes I tend to get paranoid. So I don't like that feeling.
yeah. I remember the last time I smoked anything was like 2002 ish, and like I've told this story before, probably on 80 Proof, where the reason I didn't smoke anymore after that was because I thought I was gonna die. Like I was that fucking fucked up, and I was like having a conversation with God. Who knows if it was God I was talking to, but in my high mind, he was talking back, and I was like, "Look, if you let me live, I will never smoke again." And I woke up the next day, and I was like, "That's it. I'm done with weed."
Smoking that good shit. I've gotten pretty high and paranoid, but never thought I was gonna die.
Yeah. You remember on Friday, he was like, "You hear that? I can feel my heart beating." That was me. I was like, my heart's beating fast as hell. I'm about to have a heart attack. And like I was just laying on the floor. And I'm looking around. All my friends are high. I'm like, man, if something was to happen to me right now, like none of these motherfuckers would be able to help me. Like we're all just on another planet. So yeah, haven't smoked anything since then.
Hey, it's not for everybody. I don't blame you if you feel like you're gonna die.
Yeah. It was never my thing. Like my friends were smoking in high school and right after high school. And I think it took me forever before and I did it for maybe a year. But like it was never my thing. I'd rather get drunk than get high. I was just never a drug person. Like I don't really like pills and shit like that doc will give you, like pain meds and shit. I have an addictive personality, so I don't need shit like that in my life. I got enough fucking vices already.
Be fair, there's no physical addiction to weed. It's like it's a lot better for you than alcohol, but it's just my mind just doesn't mix with it well.
Yeah, I mean I've heard that, but I still just like alcohol better. Speaking of, this is the last podcast where I have to be sober.
Yeah, when's the last day for the hard?
Last day's Monday.
This coming up Monday.
This coming Monday. 6 more days. Today was day 69.
69.
69?
Kind of flew by, didn't it?
Shit, for who?
For me, because I didn't have to do it.
Yeah, it didn't fly by for me. I was telling my girlfriend the other day, I was like, the beginning of it I felt like was easy, like the first 3 or 4 weeks. And then it's just been like ever since we got back from Vegas, it's been like I can see the end of it, and I'm just like I'm ready to fucking be done. Like I'm tired of having to work out twice a day. I'm tired of watching everybody else have a drink here and there. Like I don't need a drink every day, but fuck, it'd be nice to have one here and there. I'm tired of fucking entering my food in this little app, which I'm gonna keep doing anyway, but it's like I have to do all this shit. And that's what bothers me. Like sometimes I don't feel like waking up at fucking 4:30, you know? But it's like if you don't wake up and go to the gym now, you're going to have to do 2 workouts when you get off work. And I'm already tired when I get off work. So
yeah, when things feel like a chore, that's when it's bound, to just kind of seep into everyday life. Like this shit sucks. This is affecting my mood, man.
yeah. It's good though. I'm noticing little changes here and there, and like I've said before, like I'm liking lifting weights again, so that's fun. So now I have like weightlifting goals that I want to hit by the end of the year, and I won't be able to do that if I stop lifting. So like I want to be able to deadlift 400 pounds by the end of the year.
good for you health wise, but that sounds strenuous.
I can do 350 now. I think I did 355. I use straps though. I know a lot of fucking lifters out there are like, using straps is not really you. Yeah, suck my dick. Like, the shit's heavy, and my hands, like, the stuff is constantly slipping out of my hands when it gets to a certain weight. Like, anything over 3 plates on each side, I can't hold it in my hands anymore. So it's not my body strength, it's my fucking grip strength. Like, and the straps help me, so I don't give a fuck if people say it doesn't really count if you use the straps. Bullshit. It was that much weight on the bar, and I picked the shit up.
Yeah, I mean, straps help you lift heavier, but it's you're still lifting at the end of the day. But yeah,
Right.
that bar gets slippery. I tried using non-slip gloves when I was deadlifting with my 6-week shred program, because I had to do that once a week. And I don't know, the gloves didn't help. They helped a little bit, but I think powder may have helped, because like you said, when the heavier weights you put on there, it's slippery, your grip gets, which is annoying.
Yeah. Because by the time you get to the heavier weights, you've already been lifting, so you're all sweaty and shit. I got a buddy that's doing it, and he says the chalk helps him, but I don't know. I don't want that shit all over me.
Yeah, whatever helps. Some different strokes for different folks, but yeah,
And it's
chalk me and mess.
it's real fun, too, for people to make fun of me because they're my girlfriend's straps and they're pink. So...
I mean, it's 2025.
I'll be in there by myself with pink straps carrying them around the gym.
I can see if it was like the 90s. Pink is for girls, man.
Yeah.
Life.
I mean, the gym is where the meatheads hang out. That's where the toxic masculinity lies.
I mean,
Probably why I like it in there.
nowadays you got all types of walks of life, though. You got the Gen Zers. They are, fluid with everything. So
I tell you what, the strongest, like, most in shape person in my gym is this big gay black dude, and he's like 6'4". He's probably like 220, 240, but he's like all lean muscle, and he comes in there in these little like purple booty shorts and like halter tops and shit, and you're just like, this motherfucker could whoop my ass.
talk slick if you wanna.
Right. Say something crazy. And he be in there fucking lifting, EJ, like a lot of fucking weight. I'm just like, I want to have a body like that dude, but I ain't tall enough.
Darren Young in there.
You do anything you said you went hiking. This coming weekend I got the Peachtree Road Race, which is the one I do every year on the 4th of July. So 6.2 miles. We wake up as crack of dawn on the 4th of July, go to Atlanta. They shut down Peachtree Industrial and Lenox area and all that shit, and thousands of people. I think it was like 20,000 people there last year, all running the race. So this will be my 6th time doing it. I do it I finish in between like I think my fastest time was like an hour 17, I think is what I saw, and my slowest time was like an hour 28.
The fastest was hour 6?
Hour 17.
Hour 17, hour 28. It's not too bad of a gap.
Yeah, last year I couldn't breathe. Like, I don't know what was going on. My girlfriend was running with me. She's like, come on, let's go. When we get to this light, we're going to start running. I'm like, just leave. Just go without me. Like, quit telling me to run. I can't breathe.
Must have been something in the air last year.
Yeah, she was fine, but I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. And the year before that, she was getting like big blisters on her feet, which made her go get like Brooks running shoes and special socks and all that. And then I ended up getting some running shoes too when I was doing Orange Theory. So we'll see how we fare this year. I haven't really done much cardio besides the elliptical since I've been on 75 hard.
75 hard. For some reason, I just thought a joke when you said that.
You just now thought of that joke? As long as I've been doing it. Let's get into some wrestling, EJ. What you want to get to?
Man, there's a lot going on in the wrestling world. I guess we could start off with Saudi Arabia show. I was about to say King of the Ring. It was Night of Champions, but they did have the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring finals during Night of Champions. Did you get to watch live?
Yeah, I watched it. I'm a big fan of. I wasn't a big fan of them being there because obviously, like, shit's going on over there. But I am a big fan of like 1:00 pay-per-views in the middle of the day. Like, give me all of those. I'm a big fan of pay-per-views on Saturday, and I'm a bigger fan of pay-per-views in the afternoon, where I got the rest of the day. I watched some UFC that night afterwards. Like, we went to Pont City rooftop, played some, like, got a bunch of other shit done instead of just being tied up watching wrestling that night.
Yeah, well, you're in for a treat then, and what, next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, because you got a All In Saturday afternoons. That's right up your alley.
Yeah, and NXT Saturday afternoon, and then Saturday night's main event, Evolution the next night. All three of those will be in Atlanta. As of now, I don't have tickets to any of them, and unless my job comes through or the ticket prices drop, honestly, the only one I really want to go see is Evolution. I don't really care for Saturday night's main event. It's like a glorified house show. Also, I'm like still under protest. They took the belt off Jay just to fucking have it. Anyway, what were we talking about? I'm not gonna go down. I'm not gonna get drawn off sides by Triple H's shitty booking. Night of Champions. Oh, speaking of Triple H's shitty booking, yeah, Cody won. Woo!
Hold up now, man. Cody was your guy.
He was.
You was doing jumping jacks when he left AEW.
I wouldn't say I was doing jumping jacks. I was happy for him because the AEW fan base was shitting on him, but now I see why. He's kind of a fucking dork.
So, see? They were on to something then.
Maybe. I don't know. Alright, so I was thinking about it, and I've seen people. I also want to talk about like how people on Twitter steal the tweets that I put out, and for some reason, I guess because we don't pay for Twitter, we don't get any reactions on our shit when we tweet. Like, people barely see it. Like, 3,000 followers or whatever, and I'll look at one of my tweets that I put out, and like 100 people see it. But of those 100 people, somebody clearly will see it and then take our tweet and basically just say the exact same thing and get thousands of fucking engagement on it. And it's kind of annoying. But anyway, I was sitting there when he won. I was like, this dude came back in April of 2022 at WrestleMania in Dallas. So he's been back just over 3 years. He's won 2 Royal Rumbles, the King of the Ring, tag team titles, had a year-long reign as a champion, beat Roman Reigns, who was the champ for 4 years, and been in 4 main events of WrestleMania. Talk about getting shoved down people's throat. In 3 years, he's done all this. And you got to factor in the fact that he missed 6 months because he was out with an injury. And I'm sure I'm missing other shit. Oh, he won that fucking... he beat Gunther for no fucking reason for that Saudi Arabia belt. Like I said, he won the tag team titles with Jay. What else did he win? I'm sure he's won something else. Just... I'm sick of it.
So, what exactly about it is annoying you?
There's other people that could be winning stuff.
Like who, though?
You could have had a plethora of people win that second Royal Rumble that he won. Especially when he wasn't supposed to win to begin with. But Punk got hurt halfway through, so they made the decision to let Cody win. That would have been a good time to shake it up and have somebody else win. Which again pisses me off that he even fought Roman, because that wasn't the plan. While everybody likes to say The Rock came in and interrupted everything. Triple H said it himself on that fucking show that they had. The plan wasn't for Cody. And then when he did win, he was supposed to point at Seth. And he jumped up there pointing at Roman, which made everybody think he was fighting Roman. that fucked everything up. So, and on top of him winning all the time, when he doesn't get his way, he goes into business for himself. This fucking guy.
Hold up. I need an example of this.
I just told you. He was supposed to point at Rollins, and he pointed at Roman when he won the Royal Rumble. Because he wanted to fight Roman again. He wanted that. He didn't want to fight Seth Rollins. He wanted to fight Roman again. So he stood his ass up on the turnbuckle and pointed at Roman. And he said it himself. I don't know why I did that. I just did it. You know why. Triple H told you to.
Now you added another element into it. But
I'm just going off history.
I think I misheard you. I thought you said when he loses, he goes into business for himself.
No, when he doesn't get his way.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't want to see him fail, but I just kind of saw the writing on the wall. Like, it just comes back to the character. If you're a super uber white meat baby face, it's gonna get stale after a while. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just indifferent to it.
You know what's...
Got a whole... Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just gonna say because they got a whole other shit that bothers me probably more than Cody, but yeah.
Well, you know what's funny is you said he's a traditional white meat baby. He's really not. Everything about Cody's a heel. The fucking suits, the private bus, bringing your fucking dog out there all the time. You know what pisses me off is when I go to a restaurant and a motherfucker has their dog with them. Or I go on a plane, somebody's got their dog. We're at work, Cody. We don't need your fucking dog here.
Well, I see it at work or the grocery store, but what uncouth people are bringing it to restaurants?
You ain't never seen people bring their dog in a restaurant? Wow, lucky you.
I'm glad I haven't yet. Like, I feel like that's a different level than in the grocery store when grocery store things are wrapped for the most part, besides the produce.
The way he talks is a heel. Always trying to use these big ass words. It ain't relatable to wrestling fans.
Yeah, definitely is vocabulary, but definitely the suits as well. The suits, because I mean, he's basically presenting himself as he did when he first got in the Bullet Club, except he started dyeing his hair and wanted to be a baby face once he got in AEW. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. I don't hate him right now, but you know, it's paint by the numbers. Nothing really exciting, or we kind of see where this is headed to, but maybe not, because they got a SummerSlam match lined up now after the King of the Ring tournament, and I don't know if I see Cody getting it back that early, because how many months we got John Cena's last ride or last hoorah or whatever he's calling it?
End of December, you got 6 months left for John Cena, the greatest of all time.
They've been really pushing that narrative for the past couple of years, Michael Cole. But I digress. Yeah, I don't see it happening at SummerSlam. And 2 fucking nights at SummerSlam. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm having a party first night at my place. You want to come over?
Yeah, I just gotta find some flights, but
you can drive. It's only like 12 hours. Jade Cargill wins Queen of the Ring, and I didn't know this many people hated Jade Cargill until she won. I got on social media, and people were just talking shit left and right. She doesn't deserve it. She can't work. I'm like, shut up. Like, see the pictures of the people saying she can't even, she botched her finishing move. Like, she fell over while she was pinning the woman. Like, it ain't that big of a deal. She was leaning back and leaned a little too far and fell backwards. Like, shit happens. People are like, see, she can't even do that right. I'm like, okay, go walk up a flight of stairs and come back down without breathing hard.
So even if I see things, I'm like, ooh, that looked a little rough. Like, my personality is never the type to get on social media and post it, and that's just like nerd behavior. And the most I'll do is maybe say something in a Discord chat, but not on like Instagram or Twitter or Blue Sky or, you know, that's like, I don't know. I feel like it takes more energy to go out there and be a dick like that. But I don't know. It's a lot to unpack with the whole Jade situation. Because first of all, we got to talk about what's going on internationally, not with just Jade, just with black women in general.
Mm.
Like these Saudi crowds, these European crowds, like, and they've had a problem with, I know, with the European soccer and fans throwing bananas, and people think America, we do have our issues ourselves, but I guess it's a different, race issue as far as Europe and other places that I'm not too well astute on, but it's you keep seeing these trends and it's nasty work. Like, what are y'all doing over there?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It makes no sense to me. Like, I could see booing Naomi right now because she's a heel, but booing Jade and booing Bianca and it's just the women too. They don't. I mean, they pop like crazy for the Street Profits, but it's just the women, and it's like, what is the issue? I feel bad for them.
Well, we know how they view women. I know in the Middle East, I can't talk for the European side of things. So, and then they see black women, that's even makes them even triple mad because we already know how they feel about women. That's the only thing I can think of. But it's nasty, man.
Then the other thing you got to think about, they're gonna have the Royal Rumble over there next year, so like it's just gonna be a fucking Catwoman contest.
Yeah, that is gonna be a wild visual. Everybody with their Britney Spears bodysuits.
Yeah, it's like, I'm a big fan of like ring gear on men and women, and like Royal Rumble and WrestleMania are some of the times where like the best fucking gear comes out, and you get to see different people wearing different shit. All the women are gonna be wearing the same thing, covered in head to toe.
Yeah, but it all comes down to the almighty dollar, so they're just gonna keep going over there if it's gonna make them $100 million per year. And I don't know. I've heard both sides of the arguments on social media and on podcasts, but I'm leaning more so on the human rights side of things. But do you look at it from the perspective of the reason why they're going there is because to be the bridge and make it better, and it's baby steps to get to where they want to be as far as equality?
They can miss me with that shit. They going over there because that fucking royal family's cutting a big ass check.
That's of course, that's the main part of it, but do you think that little part is a factor as well?
No, they don't give a fuck about that. They can say that, and they can try to lean into all that because that's why they're taking all that money. They don't give a fuck about that.
So you think they would still take the money if they still had a policy where women couldn't wrestle there at all?
They did the first time.
I mean, I think like the first 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck. Okay, women stand up. That was why they had Evolution the first time. Was because the women couldn't go to Saudi and get that check. I think they might have still broke them off something because they felt guilty, but they ain't give a shit. Oh, the women can't go? Sorry. It's $100 million. Like, we're about to go over here to this place where, a lot of people don't believe in the stuff that they're doing. There's all kind of policies and laws and shit that we don't agree. Hey, they're another country. They do what they want to do, but if you don't agree with it, then don't go.
Yeah, but you could say that as far as like upper management, but what if you're a wrestler and you don't want to go and they try to punish you for it?
Well, from what I remember, they said it was their choices, but apparently the money was good enough to where everybody turned their fucking heads and was like, whatever, we don't give a fuck what they're doing over here. Oh, they're killing people? Fuck it. There's a $500,000 flight and paycheck I'm about to get.
Right. So what if like they tell you, okay, you don't have to go, nothing, you're all right, and then when you come back and all of a sudden you're losing to Ivy Nile or Grayson Waller or main event, and like, you told me I was good and now my position is slipped. There's no evidence that y'all doing this because of that, but I can see that I'm not booked the same.
I mean, if you're losing to Grayson Waller and Ivy now, you probably weren't that high up on the card anyway.
Let's say you're like on like the level of a Miro or Black or Chad Gable, and all of a sudden you see yourself on.
That's about where they are, though. Miro probably would be wrestling Grayson Waller. Losing, I don't know, but
On main event though,
eh,
that's nasty work.
hey, he's on YouTube like we are.
I don't know, man. I'm curious to see what happens once this 10-year deal is over. They re-up.
Yeah. Also, John Cena retains versus who did he fight again?
But before we get to John Cena, I still had something to talk about with Jade. You might agree with this. So, like you said, people have been all up in arms, like she didn't do this, she didn't do that. I say let her get a run with it, give her the ball. But once she gets the ball, and then we keep seeing, I'm hoping it doesn't happen, if we keep seeing mistakes with her being a champion as far as in-ring, then like you think people have like a kind of a gripe to say something, or you just gotta sit there and just she's trying her best.
I mean, people are gonna complain either way. I don't have a problem with putting the belt on her. I mean, Tiffany ain't doing shit with it. Like, her run's been stale. Honestly, a deeper topic of this is Triple H is not good at booking champions.
Go on.
Cody, his run was garbage up until he ran into KO. John Cena's run hasn't been that good. Jey Uso's run wasn't good. Tiffany Stratton's run hasn't been good. The New Day, their run sucked, and then they just randomly lose last night on Raw. Like he's struggled to book champions. They aren't named Gunther. You know, Gunther's title run sucked too the first go around.
His world title,
his
continental title.
His IC title run was good, but his world title run was trash.
Okay, I'm sure because you're a wrestling historian. Vince, it's past ever since like the turn of the decade of 2010s, like his booking was trash. What champion has been like Booker has booked champions pretty consistently well since like 2010 and moving forward?
I mean, Roman had a good run. Brock had a good run.
Brock, he was never there. I'll push back on that a little bit.
Brock's runs were good.
I wasn't a particular fan of him. I wasn't there when he first got back in 2012, but like around 2016 and going forward, he was never there. When he
Daniel
was there,
Bryan, Daniel Bryan had a good run when he was the world he was the champion with the recycled belt or whatever.
that was pretty entertaining. That was Vince, but so half of Roman was Vince and half was Triple H.
Yeah, but Triple H didn't really have to do anything when he took over with Roman. He just had to stay out of the way.
So, we'll disagree on the Brock, but I'll give you that Daniel Bryan. That was pretty. He was the world's Earth champion, and then Roman. It's just hard to book champions, but it's plenty of other stuff wrong with Triple H's stuff. I just won't point to just him not being able to book champions.
That's just a glaring thing right now, because that's what it's like. Io Sky's a champion right now, right? She had a match at WrestleMania because Rhea Ripley was mad that she lost 1-on-1 and was mad that somebody was clapping for Io Sky and not her. So now that turns into a triple threat match, even though Bianca Belair won the Elimination Chamber. And then Io keeps the belt, right? So last week, Io and Asuka are talking, and they're like, hey, if you win Queen of the Ring, we can fight for the world title like we've always wanted to. Well, Asuka doesn't win. And then Io comes out last night and says, Adam Pearce told me I could pick whoever I wanted to fight. And she picked Rhea. You just said you have dreams of fighting Asuka for the belt last week. But the only reason they had Io challenge Rhea is because people have been complaining lately that Rhea's getting handed everything and always in the title picture. So they tried to make it seem like she didn't want the title shot that Io challenged her, which is fine. But why have Io last week say, hey, Asuka, me and you have always wanted to fight for the world title. Well, now you got a choice, and you picked this motherfucker. Like, the shit just doesn't make sense.
Hey, you pointing out something I forgot about. I didn't realize she said she wanted to face Asuka last week or the week before that.
Yeah, when they had that little backstage and they were talking, and she was like, remember we were in Damage Control? And Asuka was like, we ain't in Damage Control no more. And then Io was like, well, if you win Queen of the Ring, we can fight for the world title like we always talked about. And then Asuka didn't win. Adam Pearce said, who you want to fight? She said, fuck Asuka. I want to fight Rhea.
I agree with you, but I think this is just a stopgap until we see Asuka and Io at SummerSlam. Because I don't think Rhea's going to win. I hope Rhea doesn't win.
And then, what's the point of Io wanting to fight Rhea? She already beat her one-on-one, and then she beat her in the triple threat.
She beat her for the title. Wasn't there some fuck shit that happened when she beat her one-on-one?
No. Rhea was talking shit to Bianca. Bianca and Rhea like had a little interaction, but the match went on for like 5 more minutes after that. And Rhea was like talking shit to Bianca, and Io caught her and beat her clean as a sheet.
The way they could spin it though is entirely no distractions, even though like you said it was a minor distraction.
They can't spin shit. We all saw what happened. Like even people that are big Rhea fans were like, she's coming off like a crybaby, like she lost.
A little bit, but at Evolution, I want to see Asuka and Io at SummerSlam. Who would you put Io at Evolution against?
Well, it's too late now.
Io.
She's fighting Rhea. But they're not going to have Rhea lose to Io again. Rhea's getting that fucking belt.
Well, if that happens, then I just throw my hands in the air because I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
As far as booking. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm here for the ride, man. Like, we complain, but obviously it takes like a huge event for them to, go in a different direction, a la Truth.
Remember that guy? Big deal he was a couple weeks ago? Triple H made sure y'all forgot about him. Gets his ass kicked every time he's on TV now.
Yeah, him and Black, that's like a odd pivot as far as you present him as a big deal, the whole situation, and now he's feuding with Black. No disrespect to Black, but slight disrespect to Black. He hadn't really been featured since he's been back, so it's an odd move, but it is what it is, man.
Triple H said, yeah, you can come back, Truth. And Truth said, well, I want to be more serious this time. He said, cool, you'll be a serious jobber instead of a funny jobber.
Yeah, basically, we still got a lot to talk about as far as what happened on Raw, but yeah, you mentioned John Cena and that whole situation. Did you actually enjoy the match?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was, Cena and Punk doing their thing, playing the hits. I liked all the interference and all that shit. Like, that's what a John Cena match is going to be now. Like, it ain't going to be just one-on-one. Like, there's going to be shenanigans.
Man, I'm shocked. Like, I thought you wouldn't be a fan of they on the internet's calling it Avengers booking. I'm getting kind of tired of it as well. Like, if it were a different company doing it, they would get buried and killed for it. But I don't know. I guess it's cool. I'm not. Yeah, it's just too much. Like, keep it simple, stupid.
I'm more upset at how stupid the referees are. What match was that where it was just like, oh, Solo taking the U.S. title. The referee didn't even get knocked out. There was no ref bump. But there was so much fucking interference. He was literally just like looking the other way while the new Tongan comes out, pulls fucking Jacob out of the ring, puts him through a table, puts him back in the ring. Like, where the fuck was the referee at? And then Triple H gets online talking about congratulations to the new U.S. It's like, oh, look at you promoting cheating and referee incompetence. What a great fucking boss you are.
Yeah, it's weird for him to comment about that, but yeah, I mean, It's insulting our intelligence a little bit, but
A lot of it.
rest- it's wrestling at the end of the day. But
I did say Solo was gonna win though.
yeah, you call it. I picked Jacob, and you called Jade to win. I picked Oscar just because I thought they might switch it up a little bit, but they're staying the course. But back to the John Cena matter at hand. I mean, I feel like it's more creative ways you could do it besides just having a bunch of run-ins and just when you think that he can't think of a new way of cheating, make him do it on his own. And you got Seth. We knew Seth wasn't gonna really cash in. And then you had Penta coming down. Didn't Sammy come down too? I feel like it was a
Penta, oh my God, Penta hit the Jeff Hardy, didn't he? He's supposed to be hitting the ring. He was like, I said, this motherfucker ain't gonna get here today. Get back to Monday Night Raw. That long ass ramp. He came out. Sammy came out. Who else was out there?
Seth, of course.
Braun, Seth. I can't think of his name now. The other big boy that's with Braun Breaker. Bronson
My
Reed.
cousin. Yeah, my cousin.
Yeah, they had a lot of shit going on. And Cena stole the win and got the hell out of Dodge. I like the interaction with Cena and Rollins too. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Rollins is like, "This ain't got nothing to do with you." He said, "You just tried to cash in. Like, that's got everything to do with me."
I am curious to see if they run that because I need to go back on the network. Didn't they have something going on? They were feuding with U.S. title back in the day.
Yeah, the night Sting got hurt, Seth had to defend the U.S. title and the world title back to back. He lost to Cena, and then before he could get up, Sting came out, and he still beat Sting. So just more of them burying Sting when he was there.
Fucking injuring him, almost took him out for good. But
Yeah.
was that what sparked the U.S. challenge that Cena did?
I want to think he was doing that before that, but I could be wrong.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they get a match in. But I doubt it. I think they're on different paths. Because like we said earlier, Cody, Cena. And I don't know what they're going to do with the World Championship. Go ahead.
I don't know why, but I feel like Seth's going to not be successful when he cashes in.
Well, the writing seems like it's kind of on the wall. You think that Punk will probably cost him, right?
Yeah, but he's got two goons. I don't know. It's almost like it's a done deal. Whenever he decides to cash in, he's going to get it. But I just don't. I don't know. Maybe Roman comes back when he gets ready to cash in finally. On a different.
It's like they're saying Roman's coming back at SummerSlam, but like you said, Jay, you still got Jay on Raw, and will Roman really be in contention for that World Championship? It seems like he wants the one with Cody rematch, or to be the rubber match between them.
I don't think he's going to win the world title. I just think he's going to stop Seth from cashing in. But, looking into the future, I think Roman's the one that's going to beat Cena and take the belt from him.
I wouldn't be mad at that. It'd be more of something than Cody doing it. Or, I don't know. Why not be a traditionalist and give the rub to somebody who needs it? Roman doesn't need a title at this point. I would be, more happy if he won it than Cody, but why not think outside of the box?
You mean put over a star that's almost at the cusp of becoming huge instead of somebody that's already there? Yeah. Triple H don't believe in that shit.
Well, we know somebody he does believe in Seth Rollins, and I don't know, man. This shit just hasn't been really hitting for me as far as his faction goes. They don't have a name. I know it's kind of nerdy. They have to have a name for the faction, but it's kind of good having like being solidified and having continuity as far as like a group goes. He's still playing like the in-between thing where he wants to get his lines in and Seth freaking Rollins and the dumbass music. I mean, I was the first one to say that music slaps, but I feel like he's leaning on it too much now. And think of how Paul Heyman was when he had Roman Reigns by his side. That was the biggest thing in wrestling. It just feels like Paul Heyman is just there. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you feel about this little faction so far.
It feels like rinse and repeat almost. Like he's trying to get it like he's even got the phone with Seth Rollins logo on it, and Seth left early last night and he's like, call Seth Rollins. Like, I don't know, we've seen that already. Like when he was doing it with Roman, it was new. It was completely different than what he was doing with Brock and Punk. But I agree with you. I just don't think this faction is. It's like they need some kind of shakeup. Like Judgment Day when they first started and they had Edge in it. It was like, this is kind of whack. Then when they kicked Edge out and put Finn in, they started kind of rolling a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they need some kind of change, because I agree with you. I don't think this is hitting the way it should.
So that's a good point you bring up, is the Punk situation when Heyman was with Punk. I wasn't watching then, so because it's easy. I don't know. The dynamics are different when you have like a big monster like Brock Lesnar, and then Roman is like, statuesque, just built like a Greek god. But Punk is like the everyday guy. So apparently that worked back in the day with him and Paul. So what was working back then when him and Punk did it?
Cheating, shit talking. Punk was good on the mic. He's better on the mic than Seth is. This just feels like Paul Heyman's just trying to do the same shit, like standing back, holding the briefcase, letting Seth do all the talking. Like it just feels like a Bloodline ripoff. You got 3 people in it, so you got Rollins as Roman, and then you got the other 2 who's supposed to be the Usos, I guess. Like, and then you got Paul Heyman. It's like, we've already seen this. Like, do something different.
So, with Roman was like the boss of all bosses, and Paul was there as like his, what was he called, his wise man and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And Roman kind of put the fear in him. You can't do that with Seth. Build wise and just personality wise. I think they have to go with it more so. Did like Punk and Paul used to play off each other and like basically hot tag each other as far as like going back and forth with promos. I feel like you gotta do something more like that. You don't want to be a copycat of that, but I don't know. You can't try to just copycat the Bloodline, because we see right through it. You just did it.
That's basically what's happening though, because Heyman doesn't even get on the mic anymore. He's just there. He doesn't even look like he wants to be in the fucking faction. It almost looks like he's thinking about the Bloodline. Like, man, I wish I was still with fucking Roman and the Usos. Like, we had life good back then.
Maybe what would have helped them is they could have did the whole turn at WrestleMania. Maybe kind of hide Paul away for a little bit and then have him pop back up eventually. Come by Seth's side later on in the year if you want to pair him up. Just having him doing it so immediate is maybe why it's not hitting, because we could just think about he was just with Roman. I don't know, man. I hate the fact that the playing the in between thing too. Like, if you're gonna be a heel faction, be a heel faction. Like, why are you still, trying to placate to the crowd like that? I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
No, this whole faction is not making a lot of sense. But what are you gonna do? Like Triple H said at WrestleMania, just shut up and watch.
Shut up. And then think about how, on the verge Braun was. Everybody barked in the crowd. Now he's just a lackey. Like, Evolution, they had pecking orders, but you could tell that Randy and Batista were up next. It just feels like they're Seth's henchmen.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I think we spent too much time talking about them, because it's not a good faction. Like you said, they don't even have a name. Like, how are you gonna not have a name? Everybody's got a name.
I mean, we've seen in the past where, and I hate this, where the tag teams don't have a name, they just use their names. It's basically the same thing. It's faction.
Tag team though. This is a whole fucking group. What do we call ourselves, fellas? Like, what are we doing here? Seth and the crew.
I mean, that's basically what it is. And like you see things here and there, like, well, they have a name in the tuck. This was where is it then? It's been what since WrestleMania? Wow, it's been like 2.5 months. But I don't know, man. I'll give it time, I guess, but so far,
Since we're talking WWE, last night, new World Tag Team Champions were crowned, women and men's. First, we'll talk about the women, where Roxanne gets awarded the tag team titles with Raquel. And this is another just like rinse and repeat. Like, this is the same shit that happened when Rhea was out. Like, Liv came in, replaced her, flirted with Dom, and now fucking Roxanne's doing the same thing. And it's like, Triple H doesn't even realize he just did this fucking storyline like 6 months ago.
I mean, for some reason, I'm not too mad at this though. You know, they kind of like mix between that and then a mix between they gave Naomi. Didn't they give Naomi the tag team belt?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mix between that. I kind of like it because it's like, Liv, you were a house wrecker when you came in and did it to Rhea. The shit could happen to you as well. So I kind of like that aspect of it.
Speaking of Liv, I gotta say this quietly. Can you hear me? I woke up the other day to getting shoved in the back because apparently my girlfriend had a dream that she walked in on me and Liv Morgan having sex, and she was mad at me. I'm like, but it's Liv Morgan.
I'm surprised. I know she doesn't follow wrestling like that. That she's like gravitated towards that being in her dream. Liv.
Oh, she knows my affinity for Liv. She's watched enough. She's been to. We went to Monday Night Raw. Saw Liv and Raquel beat Bianca and Naomi. I think it was a non-title match. Did they win? I can't remember. She's watched enough of it. She's watched WrestleMania. Shit like that. So SummerSlam. She knows I like Liv over Rhea.
Well, it's a simple solution for that. Next time, switch sleeping positions, and you'll be the one poking her in the back instead.
I'm just minding my business and got fucking slapped on the shoulder. I'm like, the fuck? I'm mad at you. What did I do?
Yeah, I mean, Liv has that effect, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she is, like you said, she is a homewrecker. So it's on brand. And new WWE World Tag Team or WWE Tag Team Champions were crowned as the New Day, a heel team, loses to the heel Judgment Day. Now I ask, I don't care about the heel versus heel and the face versus face stuff as much as the next person, but you got the New Day talking all this shit. They put Big E out. They finally won the tag belts. They've defended it once since then. Shouldn't there have been a babyface team that beats them to where the crowd can like pop and rub it in their face? Why would they just lose to another heel team on a random fucking Monday Night Raw? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know, man. Triple H.
Go ahead.
Triple H just, I don't know. It's like, we're like a week away from hearing that he's just start rewriting the show like an hour before they go live, like Vince used to do. That's what this is starting to feel like. Like, there's no thought put in this.
I was going to say, it's this New Day situation. Well, before I get into that, though, actually, as far as the match goes, like you said, there's nothing wrong with face versus face, but heel versus heel. But just the match just was kind of weird because you had the Judgment Day, I guess. They were both trying to cheat, and then at some points they were trying to, work more so of a good guy style. It was just weird to me. And we got to have a discussion of the New Day in general, and even the tag team champions on another show with the Street Profits, but I don't want to go too far on that side, but as far as the New Day goes, this whole situation, wouldn't say it was a dud because they're the tag team champions, but I feel like you could have got a lot more juice out of this squeeze as far as one of your most decorated tag team champions, and they've been just kind of they get the segments. I don't even get to see a lot of the segments because I don't have the. I get the ads during Netflix, and sometimes when I don't get to watch live, I'll see the full version where they show you what happens in the break, and a lot of this stuff happens during the break.
Yeah.
They've been, I mean, they've always been a fun act, but they've been like comedy heels, and you expect for this heel turn for them to be serious, especially how it went with the Big E situation, and you got Xavier backstage in a fucking pimp costume. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Player hater of the year.
Like, I don't even think we talked about that when it happened. Like, what was your reaction when you even saw that?
I thought that was funny. He was hating on. Who was he hating on? Was it Bailey? I think Xavier's been funny, but I. You're right though. Like last night, I was watching, and Judgment Day came out, and I started Raw. About 30 minutes later, and it started. So I rewound it to the beginning, and when you do that, you don't have to watch the commercials. It just skips to the next segment. And Judgment Day came out, the screen went black, and when it came back, the New Day was in the ring getting introduced, and I'm like, oh, they're about to lose. They didn't even get a fucking entrance, like, on TV. You didn't even have the World Tag Team Champions get a fucking entrance on TV. When does that happen?
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that happen, but I'm guessing they're rewriting the rules with this Netflix era because I'm guessing people who have the higher tier got to see it, but I don't even know how that works as far as tier because I got like the ad-free commercial version of Netflix. Maybe it doesn't apply to WWE, but whatever, I digress. Yeah, I mean, and you knew that y'all were going to break them up, and I'm starting to lean on it's over as far as Big E's in ring. You know, it's better that he stays healthy. So, you know, we just want to see him be healthy and live a normal life. But if you're gonna do that, you can still have him come back in the mix in some type of managerial role and have it come full circle. Like that happened, and we didn't see from him ever since. We only see him on the post show. So I don't get it as far as like the writing goes as far as the Big E side of things and tying this all back together.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm looking at apparently there was a tornado like right next to Brave Stadium, which is right by my house. Yeah. In Georgia? Yeah. We have tornadoes here.
Shit.
I'm trying to see how close it was to. Okay, it wasn't too close to me, but I'll send you a thing of it right now. Yeah, it was like people are at the Brave Stadium and you can see it in the background. And, you know, I walked. I can walk to the Brave Stadium from my house. So I was like, I was hearing thunder and lightning, but anyway, that was like 30 minutes ago. But yeah. I don't know. I'm extremely disappointed with the run the New Day got. And again, it's like Jey Uso, New Day. Almost the same thing. Had the belt for about the same amount of time. Had one defense. Didn't really defend it on pay-per-view. And then lose it on a random fucking Monday Night Raw. And if they're anything like Jey Uso, they're not even going to care. Because he don't give a fuck. He lost the belt. And he's just running out helping Sammy and singing happy birthday to Cody. Like, he has no interest in being world champion. So it's like, then why the fuck do I care? If they book him to not care about being world champion. And then, since I did the whole thing with Cody, like, since Cody got to WWE, since Jay's left the bloodline and went to Raw, he's been tag team champion with Cody. They had that for what, 2 weeks? Maybe
a week. A week or two at max.
Intercontinental champion. He had that for a month. 4 weeks. He didn't even have it for a month. He had it for like 28, 29 days. He won the Royal Rumble. But then that kind of got like whatever. Like, it wasn't the best build to WrestleMania. Then he gets the world title and has it for 52 days. This is your top merchandise seller, your most popular fucking wrestler on the Raw. I know you can say Cody, you can say Punk, you can say any of them. I think the one that gets consistently the best reaction every night is Jay. And sorry, Bully Ray, you can talk all that shit you want to about people go there just to be a part of his. And people love Jay Uso. He was saying how people love Cody, they just like Jay's entrance. I think that's bullshit, because people are there in his matches, like, cheering for him to win. They don't just do the yeet and then sit down like they do with Seth Rollins. Does the entrance help? I think so.
I mean, if they love Cody so much, how come they're kind of being selective on who he feuds against? Because when he goes against certain people, they're starting to boo. You don't boo people you love, right?
I mean, Cody's got a fucking entrance that people like singing along to, too. How come nobody blames his entrance for his popularity?
Yeah, but it's a little less interactive. To play devil's advocate.
Is it?
Whoa.
He does that shit like 5 times before his music turns off, though.
He does it like twice, but I get what you're saying. But, you know, I haven't seen Jay get a boo yet in the arenas, and we're seeing splatters of it with Cody. But I don't know, man. I feel like I don't want to completely shit on this whole Triple H era, but I feel like he's just gotten lazy, because I feel like he's just more hyper-focused, and we're starting to see that he has favorites in his guys. I feel like early on, when he took over, you saw things that were threaded and weaved more, but now he's like super fixated on his guys, and it's Seth, it's Gunther, and I guess John Cena when he's there, but he's about to be out of there, and maybe a Cody. And everyone else, he's like, fuck him.
Yeah.
And Rhea, he likes Rhea too.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about y'all getting over. So what? You give a fuck about R-Truth? We fired R-Truth. Like, y'all made us bring him back. I still don't give a fuck about him. I don't give a fuck about Karrion Kross getting popular. So y'all want him to win. Alright, we'll give him a match against Sammy. Loss. Oh, y'all want to yeet and try to take over the show and all? Yeah, we'll put the world title on Jay, and then we're going to have his ass get put to sleep so we can bring 58-year-old Goldberg back to fight for the world title.
That's crazy. I don't know, man. I'm not all doom and gloom. It's a chance for, things to, get reheated, but it's not trending like it is right now. But it's WWE.
Let's talk about some good wrestling. Let's talk about AEW.
I mean, I feel like every time it comes around, it's always been so long since AEW's happened. Especially they had that Thursday night collision, but it was some good stuff. Like, how about your girl Mercedes kicking it off and whooping Tony's ass?
Beat the brakes off of her. And then drug her through the arena and talk shit about. Mercedes just looks like a fucking superstar. I know we said this before, but like, one of the things I liked about Sting when I was younger was his outfit was like he was a tag team partner with Lex Luger. Lex Luger just had trunks and boots on. Sting had the fucking intricate jackets, the face paint, like different colors every week. Like, he invested in his look. And I think Mercedes invests in her look. And I think more people in AEW need to do that, Kenny Omega, like, stop coming out there in your pajamas.
He don't give a fuck. The only time he cared when he was the belt collector.
Right. But Mercedes just looks like $1 million. She don't give a fuck about y'all saying she can't wrestle and she can't talk on the mic. She just...
Hold up, man. Who's saying she can't wrestle? That's just
people online are just like, she's overrated. She's not good enough. Like, oh, don't let her mess a move up. That shit circulates like a motherfucker.
I'm gonna say if she does, it's usually not her fault. She's trying to elevate somebody, but I digress.
But every time she gets a hater, she just wins another belt. It's like every time you see her, she's got a new belt on. Like, where the hell did you get that from? Oh, I was in Tijuana. Yeah, just won the fucking AAA championship and What about that belt right there? Yeah, I went to Rev Pro, won some shit, beat some bitch's ass, came back, drug Tony Storm through the gorilla position. Like, just phenomenal work with her. And Tony Storm's kicking ass too. The promo she's cutting are really good. I like the red jacket she had on last week. Was that last week she was wearing the red jacket? Stood there in the spotlight. I like them getting Mina involved in it because Tony and Mina are cool. Like, I'm a real big fan of this program they got going on. But I hate to break it to people, but Tony Storm's she's dropping that belt. Come all in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards that. I know next week we'll do our official predictions. That's kind of snuck up on us, fucking all in. But I mean, going back to what we talked about earlier, I mean, when I think about it, I mean, people are gonna argue regardless, especially if you're a tribalist. But I feel like Tony and Mercedes are probably the most well-booked champions right now going on in wrestling.
Yeah. And they're on the collision course too. And that's,
Yeah.
I mean, my dog Tony Khan killing it over there.
Yeah, don't say it too out loud because they'll jump on you.
Who gonna jump on me? Wrestling fans? They're not gonna jump anywhere. Fuck
Yeah.
out here.
They'll do a light hop, but
Okay. They might tweet some shit, breathing hard, but they ain't gonna do no physical activity. I'm definitely don't have to worry about that. Yeah, Mercedes and Tony, I'm really excited about that match. I'm excited about whatever's happening with Chris Statlander and Moxley's crew.
I don't know. I can't put my finger on what's gonna happen with that. Like you said, you can have more than two women in the faction, but you got Marina Shafir on there and Stat. Like, I feel like they kind of clash with, being the muscle. So I don't really know where this is going, which is not a bad thing necessarily.
The fucking first women's tag team champions.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna see that at all in. But they're having two casino battle royals. I don't know how I feel about that. I know the match is gonna slap, but I feel like that's kind of a cheap way to put a lot of women on the card. That's just me nitpicking, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got Mercedes has the TBS championship, so you can't have two title matches. She's already in the world title match. I mean, you could put Megan Bayne and Penelope against Ty J, but you've already done that match like 75 times. And I do like that. I like that feud. I really want Anna Jay to stay healthy because I feel like every time I start paying attention to her and she starts getting better, she either gets taken off TV or she gets injured. But I think she's doing really good right now. I think Sky Blue's doing really good right now. I think Sky Blue surpassed Julia Hart, and Julia Hart was the quote unquote leader of her like a year and a half ago when she was TBS champion. I think there's a lot of movement in the women's division right now that I'm loving in AEW, and I hope they can keep it up. Shit, AEW could do an all women's pay per view.
I like Queen Aminata's.
Oh yeah.
And she got to win. Who she beat?
She didn't beat Thekla, did she?
She beat
She beat Sky Blue.
Yeah, she beat Sky Blue.
Yeah, she beat Sky Blue. She was doing that the chocolate kisses move. That's what she calls it.
So was she doing that after Stephanie?
Yeah, she just started doing that like a month or so ago.
That's a straight ripoff. Hey,
also, that's like, there ain't a lot of wrestling moves I would take, but I would take that one. Like, how's it? That shit doesn't hurt. Like, what's happening here?
That's enjoyable.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it'd be a good way of finally introducing the women's tag team championships, which I still hear is on the verge. But I know one thing that they don't need to do, what I've been hearing rumors of, we don't need to see any damn intergenerational tag team championships. Like, all right, Tony, like it feels like every time he's a habitual line crosser. Like when you're doing well, like, all right, we could do women's tag team championship. Let's do intergenerational as well. Please keep those away and tucked away if you do have those made. Cause well, you got Christian and Nick and Atlantis Jr. and that's it. Atlantis Jr. and Atlantis. Like, how you gonna defend something like that? It's just stupid. Please keep those.
Wait, what's the name of the titles?
It's supposed to be intergenerational tag team championship.
What does that even mean?
Basically father-son combos, and I think they might put Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowens in the mix.
He's not even his son, though.
I mean, theoretically, like that age gap, but just different generations tagging.
Could have did Sting and Darby.
They would have been prime candidates, but like I said, they won the regular tag team champions, which shows you don't need these intergenerational champions.
I thought this is how much I have no idea what you were talking about. I thought you were saying intergender tag titles, and you were just fucking a word up. That's why I was like, he said it like 3 times. His vocabulary is too good for that.
When I read it, I'm like, we don't need more championships, but that makes sense because there's a lot of men combos that you could do. Because when I first read it, then I read some more down the article. It said, because it was like a Facebook article, intergenerational. I'm like, what the? No, we don't need that.
Yeah, I hope that's just some shit people were talking online. Just get the women's tag titles in there because you got plenty women's tag teams, and I know in WWE people say the women's tag team titles are not needed. I think they are in AEW because I think AEW has a lot. AEW does one thing that I do like with the women. They have a lot of friends. Like everybody's kind of clicked up with each other. You know, you got Anna Jay and Ty Mello. You got Harley Cameron was with, and who was Harley Cameron with before that? She kind of flipped. She was with Paige. You got Megan Bain and you got Penelope. You got Sky Blue and Julia Hart. You got the Forever Champion and her little minion.
Billy Stark. And
yeah.
You got the Renegade Twins. You got Deanna and Taya Valkyrie. Yeah,
you got a lot of people that could do well with this, and I hope if they do it, I hope that some of the women don't be like, oh fuck, now I'm in the tag division. I hope they take it seriously, like get matching out, like Anna Jay and Ty got matching outfits, like I think Penelope Ford and Megan Bain, they're kind of dressing alike now. Got their own little entrance and shit like that. Like, don't come out to 2 separate musics. Come out to one music. Look like a fucking cohesive unit and make this shit good. Make it legit.
That's what I praise TNA about. Even though they're kind of thin as far as tag team goes, but they were a little bit deeper back before a lot of them started signing with WWE. But every time you saw a tag team over there, they had a name, the influence, and you got the inspiration. They're back in the mix. Back. And then Chelsea and Deanna were vexed. Like, they all had tag team names. And then you had
Killer Kelly and
I was about
Masha.
To say Special, MK Special, what they were called.
MK Ultra.
Oh yeah, MK Ultra, there you go. So yeah, I mean, like you said, so if AEW does it, like you said, they need to do it the right way and just not have this random names. And I think they will. They got a chance to. And it's a chance to like set the, how it's gonna build from the start. Just set the tone for it from the start. Just like don't think of it as like a demotion or anything. Like, this is the tag team division and we're gonna kick ass. And I think it's a good way to like
steal the show.
Keep Toni Storm. Yeah, and steal the show, but like keep Toni Storm fresh. Like when she's not feuding over the world title, like have her veer off in the tag team division. Have a odd couple tag team, or you could do the same with Mercedes. Like have it rotate.
I know both of them are in the world title picture right now. I wouldn't mind later on seeing an odd couple tag team of Tony and Mercedes.
Yeah, see, I think it's ways you can make it fun.
I think that'd be entertaining as hell.
As well. So.
Speaking of tag teams, EJ, we have a tag team match announced for All In. The founding father of the Young Bucks defending their EVP status versus Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. And the reason I'm bringing this up a week early, not to predict it, but now we go back to the end of the Owen Hart tournament where I wanted Hangman to win. But had I known that the original plan was for Ospreay to win and Hangman and Swerve to team up, I think I would have rather had Ospreay win.
Hold on. How do you know this is the original plan?
I was listening to a podcast with some insiders that talked about, the original plan was for Ospreay to win and for it to be a Hangman and Swerve like redemption story versus the Young Bucks, but they switched it at the last minute and Hangman won.
That would make more sense storyline wise.
Yeah,
now that you mention it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, fuck. Like, I like the Hangman one and I want him to be the champion, but I think I would have rather had Hangman and Swerve having to like reluctantly team up and fight the Young Bucks.
And then apparently backstage and whatnot before Double or Nothing, like they were arguing about who would want to lose more. Like apparently Hangman didn't want to win and Ospreay didn't want to win. So, I mean, I get
That's
it.
so eye-rolly. Like, shut the fuck up already. I don't want to win. You win. You're the best for the job. It's wrestling. Who doesn't want to win? Like, who doesn't want to main event the biggest show? Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? That would, honestly, if I was the boss, that would piss me off.
What would you even say to that if you're the boss?
Fuck you mean you don't want to win? You don't want to be the main event of All In. If I'm Moxley, I'm sitting in the back like, see, them bitches don't want the belt. Let me go over it All In.
Low key, that might happen.
Right.
But we'll get to our predictions next week. Yeah, I mean, you got to go with the hot hand. Like we on other situations where they kind of stayed the course, and that's happening a little bit now. But like you said, that would have been dope. You know, it's a catch-22, right? It would have been dope seeing the odd person couple go against the Bucks and take them down. But I think it'd also be dope if you could string along Ospreay getting the main event next year when it's back in Wembley. So you can't lose, but it is kind of weird having Ospreay and Swerve tag team. Like you expect both of them to have one-on-one matches at All In, if it's not, like you said, a very specific story of a Hangman and a Swerve tagging up. Other than that, you like to see them in one-on-one matches, but I guess it's fine. But me being a selfish person, I would like to see Swerve or Ospreay one-on-one and All In, because I'm gonna be in the building. But you know, I saw Swerve win the world championship in person, and Ospreay and Danielson in person. So I guess I'll just have to take that.
If the Bucks lose, does that mean they're just not EVPs, or that means Swerve and Ospreay are EVPs now?
Nah, they haven't ironed that part out as far as what happened on TV. I guess we'll get an answer to that, but please don't have it like if Swerve and Ospreay win that they're the EVPs, because I know it's wrestling, but we know they're not really the EVPs. And we know it's some truth to the Bucks being EVPs when they started the company. Like, I just hope that if Swerve and Ospreay win, then that means just the Bucks are out of power. And you'd be like kind of an asshole if you just took the power. You're becoming somebody that you're complaining about, right? So that'd be weird.
I'm booking myself in the world title match the first night I'm in charge. And if you get disqualified, you lose the title. But I can't get, like, I'm putting all the rules in my favor.
I always thought about that. Like, if you're the champion, why don't you just from the get-go just disqualify yourself and keep the belt?
Right. Until they tell you you can't get disqualified or you lose.
Yeah.
Randy Orton used to do that when he was heel and he was fighting John Cena. I remember one match, he was getting his ass kicked. He looked at Cena and looked at the ref and just swung on the referee and got DQ'd.
That's funny. I think we just need to do like a special one day when none of us are doing anything. Just weird wrestling rules, stupid wrestling tropes that we just accept like that. Like, why can't the champion lose it on a DQ? And then the triple threat, like, why can't you get disqualified?
Right.
You just accept it.
It's all.
Crazy, though, but...
Excuse me. other thing that's happening, we missed this last week, but Kota Ibushi's back.
Did we miss it? Okay, he came back in Collision, so we did miss it. But then he didn't wrestle until Dynamite and whatnot.
Boy, looking young, ain't he?
The Golden Lovers. I mean, I know you and Marty used to talk about a lot more New Japan, like when they were really heating up and before AEW really kind of, basically
When all the
juice for everybody.
when all the AEW people were in New Japan.
But was Ibushi like on Okada's level over there?
He was. I'm not the best New Japan person to talk about, but from when I was watching, he was like the Seth Rollins to Okada's Roman.
Oh shit! So that is pretty up there.
Yeah, but he was never like the guy, but he was always like the next guy. But he never actually got there. I don't think Ibushi ever won the world title. I could be wrong. I don't think he did.
I know him and Kenny were the Golden Lovers. Were they heel in that group? That sounds like a heel group.
I wasn't watching when they were like that. I remember briefly about it, but yeah, they if my memory serves me right, I could be making this up in my head, but I think they weren't quite Billy and Chuck. but
they were like ambiguous, like
borderline. It was like hinted at.
I mean, hey, take what's old and make it what's new. That's funny though. Oh, they said he won it once. I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. He became the inaugural champion by unifying the heavyweight and intercontinental title March 4th, 2021. Oh, that's right. He's the one that had the Cody Rhodes tattoo belt first.
Oh, the Divas Championship?
Yeah, I'm still mad at that because I thought New Japan's original title was phenomenal. Like, honestly, it was one that I wanted as a replica belt. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite belts was that one. And to make it that butterfly Cody Rhodes tattoo looking belt, I don't understand that.
And then, like, it's weird that they just completely dropped the lineage of the other one. Like, why didn't they just combine it? That's a whole new lineage, kind of like the World Heavyweight Championship. Like,
yeah.
They could easily just kept the Triple H lineage and have a different design. But
Ibushi and Okada are wrestling tomorrow, right?
yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You think they rewind the clock and put on a 4.5, 4-star type of match?
If they get the time, yes, but I think there'll be shenanigans. I think Omega comes back tomorrow, probably. I mean, he's got to, right? Because fucking All In is a week and a half from now, so he's got to come back eventually.
I thought you was gonna say more so of like the Don Callis family making it a big mess.
Yeah, and then Omega will come back and help Ibushi.
You think that happens after the match, though?
I don't think the match goes long enough for it to be one winner, one loser. I think it's just a schmoz.
You could probably count on one hand where AEW's done DQ finishes.
Which is why they could do it tomorrow, because they rarely do it. It's like, by not doing it so much, I wouldn't even be mad tomorrow if it just turned into a shit show. Because they rarely ever do it.
It happened recently. I just can't remember who did it, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it can happen tomorrow. And I know we got predictions next week, but I can't even think of who I'm going to pick when Kenny Omega and Okada. I think they're going to go crazy next week. Damon's going to have his pushing right by his TV, ready to, react and be intimate with himself watching this match. He's going to light some candles and have a good old time.
What'd you say? Get intimate with himself? Yeah. That's phenomenal. I guess the only thing we got left is MJF's in the Casino Battle Royal. That's odd, right? Like,
Yeah, is he even in it officially? I don't think he.
well, he's supposed to qualify this week, but I'm a little thrown off that he's not in a match on All In. I mean, and that pretty much seals the fact that he's gonna win, right?
I don't know, because we don't know all the participants. Like, the good thing about this match is it can end any point, so you don't know who's going to come out. But I guess I would pick him over the field if he does win.
Wouldn't it be great if it ended like early before everybody got out there? Shit.
Yeah, I mean, technically it's like an infinite amount of people, because I don't think they've really set a limit on how many people are. They just said whoever gets the first pin. That'd be funny if it ended when there's still the first two people. That would be funny.
Aren't the Hurt Syndicate? The Hurt Syndicate's fighting. Who are they fighting at All In? Didn't somebody challenge them for the belts?
I think they're fighting Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight.
Yeah, that's who they're fighting after they wore their asses out. So you won't get Lashley versus MJF. So now this whole MJF and the Hurt Syndicate thing is like, apparently it's got legs now, because I thought it'd be done by All In, but they look like a cohesive unit.
I'm guessing, people were right about maybe there is some like more underlying things that haven't been resolved with the whole Big Swole and Cedric Alexander. Because I don't know if you saw Impact. Looks like he's in TNA now. I thought it would have been like a layup for him to be in the Hurt Syndicate, and he said on interviews that he wanted to reunite with them. So I don't know.
Yeah, but there's no way you could go work for that man after him and your wife got into it like that. And the stuff she accused him of.
I agree with you, but I saw like an interview back in April or May. He was like, "Yeah, I would love to work for AEW." But I don't know. Maybe Tony said, "Fuck it." Yeah. Maybe Tony's the hardhead.
And you know who else saw the interview? Big Swole saw it. It's like, nigga, you want to work where? Come here, let me talk to you for a second. Tell you how marriage works.
Maybe that happened too, but I don't know the details. Is this like TNA? Is he like locked in, or is this like Matt Cardona type stuff?
I don't know. They hadn't really. It hadn't really been announced one way or the other. At least I haven't seen it. So, but I don't know. I wasn't a fan of Cedric coming and joining the Hurt Syndicate, so I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Now they got a chance to really tell a detailed story to the MJF. Like you said, it's going to eventually. MJF's been in factions, but he's a scoundrel.
Dirty, rotten scoundrel.
It's gonna be him and Bobby probably eventually, but I guess I'm not mad at what they call him, Jet Speed and the person. I think they're still gonna get beat. Just like, how could, I don't know. I heard, I'm all over the place, but I heard it was supposed to be Edge and Christian possibly coming back at All In, maybe to face the Hurt Syndicate, and I don't think that's happening because
them old motherfuckers can't take that ass whooping from the Hurt Syndicate that they're going. I mean, Shelton and Bobby about the same age as Edge and Christian, but they're just built different. Like, Edge and Christian can't take them suplexes and all that shit Bobby and Shelton be doing. They'll be back on the shelf.
Definitely Edge, but I don't know. I don't believe that Jet Speed have a chance of beating the Hurt Syndicate at all. I just think it needs to be more of a physical presence of a tag team. Maybe Joe and Hobbs. I know they got the Trios Championship. Like, you give me Joe and Hobbs versus all right, let's go. Let's see what happens.
Wow, you just literally made my fucking hair stand up thinking about it. I was sitting here trying to think, and I didn't even think of Joe and Hobbs, but like seeing them two walk out and getting Lashley in Shelton's face, like, okay, now we cooking.
I don't even know. We're about a week out, a week and a half out, All In. I don't think they even announced all the matches. I'm sure we're going to see the ops in something. You think they might just try to just throw them in like the stadium stampede or something
They'll
like
be
that?
announcing matches while you walking into the stadium, EJ.
Yeah, most likely. But,
I am
uh,
I am jealous though. You get to go to Texas Live out there beforehand.
now I've been to Cowboy Stadium once. I went to a Cowboys game. I don't think I went by Texas Live.
Yeah, well, you should. Texas Live was we did it before Mania, and then we pre-gamed over there, and the walk to Cowboy Stadium is a little further than the walk to the Texas Rangers. Like you could hit them with a rock from Texas Live, so I think that'll be fun. Well, AEW fans and WWE fans are a little different, but WrestleMania was fun. Like there was wrestling fans everywhere, just getting drunk and hanging out, and the weather was fucking beautiful. It's gonna be hot when you're there, so it might be a little different, but Texas Live's a fun place to pregame.
Or the drinks reasonably priced.
I don't remember what the price was. I just remember it was fun to walk around that big ass place, and it's kind of like the Battery here in Atlanta, and then they got that nice uh, bar that's outside where you look down the bar and you see Cowboy Stadium just out in the background. It's a good little like photogenic view right there. It was a lot of fun. They got, I was gonna say hacky sacks. They got fucking cornhole things set up, and it's just a good time out there.
Well, I'm definitely gonna check it out. But I got a rental already, so maybe I'll just have to Uber that day just so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. If I was there, I'd drive for you. I wouldn't drink, but
Yeah.
alas.
I'm glad cause I was thinking about maybe getting somewhere in Dallas, but I'm like, what am I going? I could just drive and do Dallas stuff during the day, so I got something real close to the stadium, so I can just Uber there right before and
What day you flying
you
in?
know Friday.
They do the running of the bulls through the stockyards. That's cool. I don't know what day they do that though, but it's like a certain time of day they let the bulls run through the stockyard, and then you go through, and there's like it's some real country shit, but it was fun when I went and did it.
They do that on a regular.
Yeah, you'd have to look it up. I don't know exactly what day and what time they do it, but yeah, they got the stockyards out there where they let the you can go watch the bulls just run through this quote unquote city that you're in or whatever, and then you can walk around getting drinks and like barbecue and food and shit like that. Like it's a whole vibe.
I do have to get me some brisket while I'm out there. I feel like that's what Texas is good at. I feel like Texans kind of overrate themselves as far as barbecue overall, but they do brisket, I think, the best out of anybody in the country. So
I'll have to look up the speakeasy I went to when I was out there and send you that. You gotta like have a password to get in, and it was a real swanky little speakeasy. I liked it. They had these dope ass meatballs that I had at the bar, and made these cool little drinks and shit like that. Dallas got a lot of good shit there. I like Dallas a lot.
yeah, I like Dallas too. Um, you're the speakeasy king. I feel like you find a speakeasy in every city.
I found one in fucking Tokyo.
Found one in Vegas, Atlanta. Damn.
Yeah, by accident I found one in Tokyo.
How do you accidentally find a speakeasy? That sounds like a
Just
story and a half.
yeah. I mean, short story or long story short, I thought it was a bar, and we went up this elevator, and it looked like an apartment like building, and I'm like, this is where it says we're supposed to be going, and we just pushed the door open, and we're in a speakeasy. Like it was not there. It wasn't marked well, and yeah, it was nice though. It was a cool little vibe. Everybody there, spoke enough English to like help us out with what we were looking for. And we were waiting on these Wagyu sandwiches that we saw on TikTok. So we were in this area already, and I was like, I want a drink. So I was looking up where to get a drink at, and the direction said this building. I'm like, oh, well, if we get there, we got to go in the elevator. We go in the elevator, and my girlfriend's like, this looks like somebody's house. I'm like, nah, this is what it said. just pushed the door open and they were like, welcome. It's like, oh shit, we're in a speakeasy.
It's always the shit you're not looking for and you stumble into that ends
Yeah.
up always being the most dope and fun shit. So
If we didn't have other shit to do, we probably would have stayed there a little bit longer and drank a couple more drinks there because the drinks weren't expensive. They were good. The people were friendly. We'd order those sandwiches and we were ready. I think we were going to the nightclub that night too.
is it a American thing now that I think about it where we just overprice drinks because Mexico drinks aren't expensive and Europe the drinks weren't expensive?
I think-
saying Tokyo, what the fuck are we doing over here?
I think we just overprice everything and add chemicals and shit like that to everything. That's a whole nother topic though. Let's do street clothes rest of the week and get up out of here.
Yeah. We already talked about it earlier. My street clothes rest of the week, I was going back and forth between the person who attacked the same person, but I think I'll lean towards Toni Storm with her Carmen Sandiego outfit, walking into Dynamite, the tank top underneath it, and the hat. I dug it.
The whore you all adore. She's so funny. I'm gonna slap your tits off. She says all kind of just wild shit. You just gotta. My street clothes rest of the week. I'm gonna give it to MJF this week.
Okay, I can't even remember what he had on, but he's always dressed to the nines with the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, he had. I'm a big fan of wearing a 3-piece suit but not having jacket on, just the vest and the tie and the pants and all that. I really like that look a lot, and he still had his little scarf on. But I thought MJF was fly on Wednesday.
Like you said, without the jacket, looking like a 1940s gangster in Chicago.
Yeah. All he was missing was a Tommy gun and a cigar.
Hey, he might add that to the fit next time.
Well, EJ, if you ain't got anything else, man, we'll get up out of here.
Yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in and tapping in on all the social media platforms. And if anybody got some extra time, Rucker's talking about the UFC pay-per-view this past weekend. We did a show yesterday, and we had our guy, Daniel Javier Fitz, on. He guest appearing on the show from the after show, but later. So it was a long-ass episode, so if y'all got the time to tune into that.
Yeah. Did I text you this weekend when I was watching UFC? I only watched like 1 or 2 fights. I watched, what's her name? Cortez? Was that her name?
Tracy Cortez.
Yeah. She was ranked number 10. She was fighting number 8. She's whooping old girl's ass.
Viviana Ruggiero.
Yeah, she reminded me a lot of Lola Vice. That's why I was cheering for her.
Yeah, she's good because she's ranked top 10, but she just is hurt. She just doesn't fight often, but yeah, she's dope.
Yeah. Didn't watch Jake Paul fight. I heard it was bullshit, but yeah, that's check out Haymaker. Like EJ said, he and Admire and who else is on there with y'all?
My boy Steve, my boy Chris, and like I said, we had special guest Daniel Javier Fitz on this week episode, so happen if you got some extra time.
For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been another episode of Boot to the Face. Next week, we'll be here to talk All In, Great American Bash, Saturday Night's Main Event, and Evolution.
Supercard of Honor.
Oh my God, we'll be talking everything. It'll just be a prediction show next week. We'll skip all the bullshit and just welcome to Boot to the Face, the first match for All In, because we're gonna have to get through all that shit. But for EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. Again, this has been Boot to the Face. Until next week, peace.